Hello and welcome to another video. Sometimes you may have a quadratic equation inside a quadratic equation. Well, that's not a problem. Okay, let's just solve the problem from the outside. When we get inside, we're going to deal with the problem inside. So, as you can see, this is a quadratic equation squared. A quadratic expression squared. And when you open this up, when you expand this, you're going to end up with x to the fourth as the first term of this expansion. And when you have x to the fourth, it means you're supposed to get 4 roots. Okay? It's the fundamental theorem of algebra. Okay? That you're going to have 4 roots when you have x to the fourth. Now, some of the roots may be the same, but you're going to have 4 different answers. Okay? Now, but we can just do our substitution. So what I'm saying in essence is by the time you're done solving this kind of question, you should get 4 answers. Now, some of those answers may be the same, but you have to look out for that. Don't forget. So this is the square of this, so we can do our substitution and say that we can say let n be equal to x squared minus 1, which means that n squared will be x squared minus 1 squared. So this n squared will replace this, and we have n squared minus 11n plus 24 is equal to 0. So at this point, I can just do my factoring. Can we factor this? We don't know, but are there 2 numbers you'll multiply to give you positive 24? But when you add them, you'll get negative 11. Well, because we're adding to get a negative, you want to consider the negative options. So negative 8 and negative 3 will give you this when you multiply them, and when you add them, you're going to get this. So those are our answers, negative 8 and negative 3, because this is 1 here. So I'm going to have n minus 8 and n minus 3 equals 0. So solving this gives us n equals 8 or n equals 3. Those are the 2 possible options that we're going to get as answers. And remember, our objective is not to get n, because n was not the question. The question was x. X squared minus 1 equals 8, or you have x squared minus 1 is equal to 3. So we're going to try and solve this. We say x squared will be equal to 8 plus 1, which is equal to 9. So we have x squared equals 9. And then x will be equal to plus or minus the square root of 9, which will be plus or minus 3. So we're going to end up with x equals 3 or x equals negative 3. Those are the 2 options we have on this side. Now let's go to the other side. So on this side, we have x squared will be equal to 3 plus 1, which is equal to 4. So x will be equal to, x squared will be equal to 4. And x will now be equal to plus or minus the square root of 4. So x equals plus or minus 2. That x equals positive 2 or x equals negative 2. And ultimately, we can just write out the answers like this. X equals, what's the smallest number? Negative 3. X also can be negative 2, x can be 2, and x can be 3. These are all the possible answers that x could be. Any of these will satisfy the quadratic equation. Hope you learned something. Give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next video. Don't stop learning. Those who stop learning have simply stopped living. Bye-bye.